Hello, happy Tuesday evening, everybody. It is Nicky Stees here. So we're going to do the Week 18 Eagles-Giants recap. So make sure to do me a favor to drop a like and subscribe to both the Hardcore Sports Network and my channel, Nicky Stees channel. If you haven't done so, I will drop the link to the Nicky Stees channel in the chat for those of you that haven't gotten to it already. So I'll do that in one moment. So for this one right here, what I'm going to do is, as you can tell by the title, it's going to be a Week 18 recap and a toast to the Eagles having home field advantage. So, I'm going to start off, we'll talk about it early. LT coming in, shout out, thanks for coming in. So here, right here, is the link to my channel. Right there, if you haven't checked out my channel yet, you haven't subscribed, do so. So I do some pre-game, post-game recaps for the Eagles, do some live play-by-plays for the 76ers, and I drop a lot of short videos about Eagles, 76ers, and other NFL and NBA-related subjects. So that's the link right there to my channel if you haven't gotten to it already. So let's get into it. Let's start with the game itself. So the Eagles, we did what we needed to do. We took care of business against the Giants. We got the win, 22-16. And for those of you that aren't checking this out on my channel, well, on my channel, I got a poll that's specific for that channel. So I'll put the link to that for those of you guys right there so you can check it out right there. I got a poll specific to the stream on my channel asking, what letter grade would you give the Eagles' performance? So you can check it out there. And feel free to vote on the poll. Let me know what your letter grade was for the Eagles' performance. So for this game, we got the W. We clinched home field advantage, so that's the positive news right there. The good news is we got Jalen Hurts back. We got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. We got Robert Quinn back. So we're starting to get some of our players back. So that is the good thing right there. Got Lady McKenzie in here. Let's see it coming in. Yeah. Subscribe, thank you and thanks for the subscription. Shout out to LT for coming in, subscribe to my channel there with the Kobe picture of him doing a dunk. So we got the W. We needed to clinch home field advantage. We didn't have to worry about any other outcomes going on. We didn't have to worry about whether the 49ers lost to the Cardinals. Spoiler alert, they didn't. So we controlled our own destiny and we got the win against the Giants. Now, is this like a great win? No, because number one, the Giants were resting their starters. They had nothing to play for, so they just decided, we got the number 6 seed locked up. We'll just rest our starters, come back next week, which they will against the Vikings with their starters. So we were supposed to win this game, and we did that. Now, this was a good game for the team to get its confidence back, because I know confidence was a little bit shaken after losing 2 straight. So you wanted to come in here, have a good game for Jalen Hurts' return, to have him get back into rhythm, kind of give him, like, you could say, a warm-up game against, the backups and the practice squad guys for the Giants. So, and he did have a solid game as return, and we could see that throughout the offense. Like, through this game, you could clearly see with Jalen Hurts, he was doing a much better job getting rid of the ball. He was doing a much better job getting away from pressure than Gardner Minshew could. Now, obviously, Lane Johnson not being in at right tackle, that certainly plays a role in these games, because without Lane Johnson there, you give up pressure on the right side. But at least with Jalen Hurts, you got a quick mobile quarterback. He can move, so he can get away from that blitz. And he can at least, it's manageable not having Lane Johnson there with at least a mobile quarterback, because at least he can move, get away. Whereas with a guy, a pocket passer, or as EC1 called him last night when I appeared on his stream, a statue quarterback, in Gardner Minshew, he can't really move like that and get away from the blitz. And that's one of the things that's now more favorable to NFL quarterbacks have mobile, but that's another subject. But the point is, we clearly could see he could move and make plays better. He's better at reading his options than Gardner Minshew for sure. And we had a spark in the offense we haven't seen in quite a few weeks. So that was the good thing right there. Hurts overall, he's 20 for 35, 229 yards. He didn't have a TD. Well, technically he did throw one to Devontae Smith, but it was called back due to an eligible man downfield on Landon Dickerson. I don't know why'd you have to do that, Landon. But he did have one interception late. But, you know, the team kind of late in the game, they took their foot off the gas pedal and they let the Giants back into it like it was nothing going on, which that was a mistake. Right. But overall, you know, Jalen Hurts, he looked nice. He got the ball to Devontae Smith 7 times, 67 yards. A.J. Brown 4 times, 95 yards, including a long 37. He even got Goddard 6 times right there. In the running game, hey, I don't know what it is about Boston Scott, but anytime we play against the Giants, just something about him. He always has the Giants' number. Don't ask me why, but he always has their number when we play him. And that's why, I mean, Boston Scott, hey, he's a good number 2 back, and he's a good fit for this Philadelphia Eagles team. And when it comes time to going up against those Giants, he always delivers. And he did so again right here. He added another touchdown to his credential. And he had total 9 carries, 54 yards. So salute to Boston Scott once again coming through here. Miles Sanders, he had 11 carries for 33 yards. But I don't know what happened there. His longest was 6 yards. I mean, we tried with Miles Sanders, but he just really didn't get going that much. He only had longest of 6 yards. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, Miles Sanders be one of those backs. He's a hot and cold back. Like, he'll get hot sometimes. When he's hot, he really helps us out in the run game. And that makes it a little bit easier for us in the pass game. But when he's cold, you're just like, come on, Miles, that's the best you got? And it felt like that on Sunday. It was just one of his cold games right there. Now, I know he hasn't been used as much in recent weeks, but I mean, it was against the Giants' second stringers, so I felt like he should have played better, though, right there. But he's definitely going to need to play better come playoff time right there. So that's one thing we can improve. The defense did good for the first 3 quarters. Then fourth quarter, they kind of relaxed a little bit. Eagles had a big lead, so they kind of, you know, decided to figuratively take their foot off the gas pedal, kind of just relax and soak in the performance of the first 3 quarters, and it nearly caught up to us. But we managed to hold on, get the W, 22-16, and we got home field advantage. That's what counts. A win's a win, so we'll take it right there. I mean, it's not a pretty win right there, but it's a win nonetheless. We need it. I mean, our defense, I mean, we did get 2 sacks in the game right there. I mean, you know, so we did that right there. I mean, I will have to say, though, as far as the Giants go, that was a nice touchdown by Kenny Galladay at the end. I'll give him that. That was nice right there. It was good to have Kaiser White. But speaking of the Eagles, yes, it was good to have a nice catch there by Kenny Galladay. And the reason I'm stopping is because I just don't want to be jumping randomly from thought to thought. I just want to have a more smoother transition. So that's why I stopped and went back. But yeah, so, hey, I got to give credit where credit's due. That was a nice catch. I'll give credit to whether it's an Eagle, player from the opposing team. So that's that. But still wasn't obviously enough. We won like we were supposed to. But that fourth quarter, man, that's why you can't take your foot off the gas pedal, because if you do, it can come back to bite you. So right now, though, so I see the poll right there on my channel. We got 2 votes on the poll for overall letter grade for the team. So if you're coming in to my channel and you see a poll, you can vote on it. Simple. The question is, what would you give the Eagles letter grade for the performance? A, B, C, or lower. You guys can simply vote on that. And as far as the Eagles defense goes, hey, it was nice to have Kaiser White all over the field making some tackles right there. It's a good thing right there. Hey, TJ Edwards was out there too. CJ Gardner-Johnson was out there making some tackles again. It was nice right there. But Darius Slay, man, I don't know. He's been cold recently. You know why? Because he's not playing man-to-man. Like we talked about this last night. And Further AM in. Salute to Further. We're coming in, stopping by to say hello. So we got 3. Further confirmed it. 3 votes for A. So thanks to everyone that came in and voted and that came in to join this stream. So as always, so thank you to you guys right there. So now I'm about to finish off my closing thoughts for the recap portion. Then we're going to have a little bit of fun and toast the Eagles getting home field advantage. But yeah, at least let's just be happy we got the win right here. Now, I personally... hey, we got the win. That's what counts. There's really not much else to say because... except clearly Jalen Hurts, was refreshing to finally see Hurts back. Made us appreciate Jalen Hurts' presence in this offense a lot more, seeing what he could do. Because, oh yeah, and thank you further. Thanks for the love and support, and thank you to everyone who's been showing me love and support on this channel, especially in recent months as it's been growing. You guys are awesome. You're the guys that keep me doing this thing. You're the reason I keep coming back here. You're the reason I enjoy doing this. So thank you all for coming in, checking them out, dropping likes, subscribing, coming through my live streams to say hello, etc. So shout out to you guys because you're the reason I keep doing this. And I cannot stop saying thank you for doing so. So yeah, overall, man, hey. So I kind of there's not much else to say about the game. Said, hey, we got the W, we'll take it. Now, let's give the team a week to rest. Right there. Give everyone a week to rest. Maybe we get Lane Johnson back in time for the divisional round. With Hurts, okay, we got him in there. He helped us get that win we needed. It helped the fans appreciate him more. Getting to see what it was like without him versus with him in the lineup. So that gives us more appreciation as a fan base for him. And it helped get the rust off him from the 2 weeks he missed. Getting to go out there and toy with the Giants' second stringers a little bit. So that was cool right there. But now we get that week to rest. Get everyone ready. Give everyone some time to get some ice on them. To heal up a little bit. But make sure you guys also stay in some football shape during your time away from the field too. Obviously, you're going to have some of those guys probably by the TV for the NFC game so they can scout. So they can see who's going to be the lowest seed that wins. So they have an idea who they're playing. Which I'm in all favor of that. If I were a player, I'd be doing the same thing too. So, you guys are right there. Definitely want to sit there. Do that. And let's come back fresh for the divisional round. Alright, give everyone that time to rest. Give some of the guys that just come back, like CJ Gardner-Johnson, Robert Quinn, Jalen Hurts. Give those guys some time to relax. Some time to breathe. They got some of the rust off their shoulders, so that's good right there. And ultimately, what's best about this is we got that 1 week off. So the benefit that comes with home field advantage in the 17 playoff era. And we got Nick Sirianni coming through. Yay, thanks for the 14 wins in the regular season. Make sure those guys get some rest for the divisional round. And yes, so now that's the beautiful thing about home field. Because now, hey, we're that one team that gets that rest. If you're the other 3 teams, though, hey, you got to go 3 rounds to get to the Super Bowl. But, hey, remember, though, let's not automatically assume that being home field advantage means we have the automatic advantage with 7 teams. Because the previous 2 seasons, / the only 2 seasons we've had 7 seeds, the team that won the Super Bowl was not the home field advantage team. So let's just not automatically assume that guarantees we're going to be the most well-rested and best team because of it. But we're not going to be that way solely based on having 1 week off, whereas the other 6 teams have to play in the wild card. It doesn't automatically work that way. So let's just not automatically assume it's going to go that way. But hey, you know what? So it's nice that we get that home field advantage right there. So I'm going to sing a toast to the Eagles. Home field advantage. Okay, so in case you wonder when I'm drinking, it's club soda mixed with lemons in there. But yes. So salute to the MVP of the Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. Salute to the best offensive line in the NFL. Salute to the best 1-2 receiver duo. 2,000-yard receivers. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Salute to the steal of the offseason on draft night, bringing in A.J. Brown. Salute to the guys like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Brandon Graham for his amazing comeback, who should, mind you, win Comeback Player of the Year. And now that I think about it, I'm going to drop a short video on my channel, possibly right after I finish this stream, saying that Brandon Graham should be Comeback Player of the Year. So be on the lookout for that. Salute to the, Kaiser Whites, the TJ Edwards, the guys like the CJ Gardner-Johnsons, Darius Slays, James Bradbury's, for their work during the season to getting us in this position. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. So salute to those guys for coming through. Nick Sirianni, hell, Miles Sanders, 1,000-yard season. But now that's step one completed. Step two is obviously the playoffs. And let's face it. I'm thinking, considering we have a ton of guys hitting free agency this offseason, and yes, while we do have enough cap space to bring some of those guys in, yes, that is true, but we're not going to be able to bring everybody back. So I think it's important that we strike while we have everybody on the roster and get that second Super Bowl. Then we come back after that and we get that third. And then we get that fourth sometime down the line. Let's get this thing going. Let's turn this into a dynasty right here, all right? And let's make this season the beginning of that with ring number 2. Let's become the first team in NFL history to win 2 Super Bowls in a 5-season stretch with 2 different head coaches. That's right. It's never been done in a 5-year stretch with 2 different head coaches. It's certainly been done with the same head coach in a 5-year stretch, but... Oh, wait, actually, I take that back, actually. Oh, wait, never mind. No, the Steelers did it with 2 different coaches. That's right. No, yeah, it was the Steelers with Cowher, Super Bowl 40, and then 43 with Tomlin. Never mind. Okay, but salute to the team that could win 2 Super Bowls in 5 seasons with 2 different head coaches and could be on the way to being a dynasty. But we got to start this. I feel like we got to get it done this year, Rand, because there's no guarantee we're going to have all the right pieces back next year. But, however, here's the good news, though. We have a top draft pick thanks to the Saints. And we could capitalize on that right there. So, but I really feel like we got to capitalize on it this year, though, too. You always want to strike while the iron's hot, so to say. If you have all the pieces there, do it now, because you don't know if your window is going to be open next year, especially the way free agency is in today's NFL. The championship window ain't open 5, 6, 7 years like it would have been in previous eras, okay? It's not like the 80s or the 90s or the 70s where that championship window is open longer for teams. Like with the Steelers in the 70s or the 49ers through the 80s into the 90s or the Cowboys. It's not like that in today's era where that championship window's open that long. Championship window's a lot shorter in today's game with free agency, so it's important for the Eagles. Let's cash in on that. Let's go. Now, it is great right there that we did get home field advantage. Like I said, shout out to them right there. Awesome moment right there. We got ourselves home field advantage, baby. So I say for the divisional round, look, bring on whoever. I don't care who you bring. Bring on the Giants for a third time if you have to. Bring on the Cowboys. Hell, bring on the Seahawks if you have to. I don't think we're going to play them because I'm pretty sure the 49ers will win that game, but whoever it is for the division round, bring on. All I can pretty much tell you is it's pretty much it's not going to be the 49ers because they're the number 2 seed. It's not going to be the 49ers, and it's not going to be the Vikings either. So those are 2 things I can say for sure. It won't be those 2 teams. So, yeah, whoever we can bring on the Cowboys, Giants, 49ers, or Seahawks in the divisional round. Let's take care of business with them. But first, we got to see what happens in the wild card round. So I won't be back to talk about that until our opponent has been determined and until we have a date or a time for it. Although next week, though, I might actually do several streams next week because next week, as of right now, I'm going to have more time on my hand next week to come on here and do some streams. So, good chance I could come on here next week, talk about that more. But yeah, so we got the win. We got a home field advantage. I mean, right, we had short to, hey, we did what we needed to do. And Jalen Hurts, definitely team MVP right here. Easily hands down because you saw how well that offense was with him versus without him. And you can't tell me that it was the system around him. You saw what happened with Gardner Minshew. You can't tell me that Gardner Minshew was a product of the system. No, he was trash. Team regressed. I'm sure the offense played okay against the Cowboys, but that was just one of those games that was bound to be a high-scoring game, and we were lucky to be in it. But then against the Saints, you're thinking on into it, well, we scored over 30 against the Cowboys, right? We scored 34. We should be able to beat the Saints, right? And we could have. But unfortunately, our QB, poor man's Ryan Fitzpatrick, couldn't stay hot. Gardner Minshew, man, I kind of said he was like a poor man's Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't even think he's that, because at least with Fitzpatrick, you could get maybe 2, 3, 4 games out of him where he was good. Then he'd start to regress, which was the one thing that prevented Fitzpatrick from ever being a star QB. But Jesus, even Ryan Fitzpatrick was, during his streaky ways, was better than Minshew. But that's that right there. So, but as long as we have Hurts in the lineup, we don't have to worry about this right there. You clearly saw Jalen Hurts, MVP of this team right there. And like I said, Brandon Graham, definitely comeback player of the year for me. So you know what? Right now what I'm going to do right here is, while I'm on here, I just thought of an idea. So give me 1 second. And I'm going to clip this into a video. And so just give me a couple seconds. Okay, so now this is where I'm going to have a little bit of fun right now. And this part will be clipped into a separate video. So I'm going to name Goodbye Philadelphia Eagles 2022 regular season awards. So I'm going to start off and go, so here it is. So we're going to start off. The MVP for the 2022 regular season for the Philadelphia Eagles is Jalen Hurts. Obvious choice right there. Speaks for itself. Now, the most improved Eagles player for 2022 is Miles Sanders. He took that next step, got over 1K for the season. So he gets his props there. Now, next award for Comeback Player of the Year is Brandon Graham. And award for Best New Acquisition for the Eagles, A.J. Brown. And it was a tough one. It was between him and another guy on here who was acquired close to the regular season, but I thought between the two and I decided to go A.J. Brown. But you guys can all comment, let me know who you have for these awards, who you agree and disagree with for them. And now, Offensive Player of the Year for the Eagles. You probably already know, Jalen Hurts again. And then, last but not least, Defensive Player of the Year is C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Well, actually, wait, there's one more I got in mind. The off-season, actually it's going to be the off-season MVP. So the off-season MVP for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2022 was Howie Roseman. For all the moves he pulled off to help build this team together, obviously he's the MVP for the off-season. So I'm going to end it on that final note right there. So I'm going to put it up on the screen right there. So I'm going to create a separate banner right there. Actually, never mind. Actually, you know what? You guys can scroll through. Alright, you know what? But yeah. Okay, so that's it right there. So those are my awards for the Philadelphia Eagles for the 2022 regular season. I'll end on that note. I want to say to everyone that came through, thank you for coming through. This is fun to do right here. I even got a new sub out of it. So shout out again. To LT for subscribing to the channel. And this was also right here. So we'll have to wait and see who the Eagles will play in the divisional round, depending on the outcome of the wild card games. And I'll be back to talk about that next week. So yeah, thank you everyone that came in. It was fun to do. And for those of you interested in the NBA, I'll be doing the play-by-play for the 76ers alongside Mitch Kofsky, head of the Hardcore Sports Network. At 7, I'm going to start it. He'll join me a few minutes late. So I'll be back for that later. But I'm going to finish on one last note before I say goodbye.